Yo, what's good, Tristan?
Answers, fam!
Today, we're going to be reacting to Harry Styles' BBC Wet Dream.
What the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean, Queen Cat? I'm just doing my job.
You've been reading those Tumblr fan fictions again, haven't you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what that website is.
Sure, just like you don't know what Larry is.
But yeah, anyway, Harry Styles recently did a cover of Wet Dream by Wet Leg on the BBC Live Lounge, so I'm super excited to hear that. A lot of y'all have recommended for me to watch this, but before we get started, be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. On my Patreon, by the way, I have a singing technique tier. If you want more in-depth detail on voice technique, that's where you gotta go. A lot of other coaches have programs that are hundreds or thousands of dollars. This is a lot cheaper, and I think the quality of information is actually pretty good, but we're just getting started. There's only 4 or 5 videos on there so far, but that's a good thing because you can jump over there and ask me a question, and there's a good chance I will get to it in some way or another. Anyway, let's jump into this video. Oh my god, I can't tell you how grateful I am that they stopped putting that very loud and obnoxious BBC at the beginning of these videos.
BBC Radio 1.
It's so annoying and jarring every single time. I was so scared. I have BBC PTSD at this point. Hey! Okay.
Let's begin. Here we go. Here we go.
Woo!
Your wet dream driving in the car.
Dude, we're actually really approaching on rock here. It sounds really good. I'm gonna be real, I've never heard the original song, so I don't know how they're reinterpreting or reimagining this, but I'm really here for it. I love the surfer rock sounding female backing vocals, and I love what he's doing with his voice so far. Actually kind of sounded like Shawn Mendes a little bit.
With the side of the road, there's no one else around you, touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself. You see, baby, do you want to come?
He's using a lot of Shawn Mendes technique here. I'm not even gonna lie with you. It's pretty funny. I'll talk about what I mean by that as we go on.
With me, I've got Buffalo 66 on DVD.
What the heck?
Baby,
I've
do
never
you
heard him
want to
sound like
come
this before.
home with me, I've got Buffalo 66 on DVD. Beam me up, count me in, 3, 2, 1, let's begin. Here we go.
This is so different.
Here we go. Here we go. I was in your wet dream, driving in the car. What makes you think you're good enough to think about me when you're touching yourself, touching yourself, touching yourself?
The logistics of this don't quite add up though, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure if you're regularly touching yourself, you're not having wet dreams, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me down below. Not sure on the logistics or the physics of that one, but anyway.
Touching yourself, you climb onto the bonnet and you're licking the windscreen. I've never seen anything so obscene. It's enough to make a girl blush. It's enough to make a girl blush. It's enough, it's enough, it's enough, it's enough, it's enough, it's enough, it's enough. Oh, it's enough, oh, it's enough, oh, it's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Woo! I'm calling her right now, and I've called this a few times before, but rock is gonna come back. You're seeing all of these singers, all these pop singers dipping their toes into it. You got Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. You got Olivia Rodrigo with Brutal. Now Harry Styles with this kind of a thing. You got Shawn Mendes doing like a Happier Than Ever cover as well. I see it coming. I see it happening. And I'm gonna quote myself saying this in the future when it does happen. People love this. And pop is getting boring.
Begin.
Dude, his upper range is getting actually ridiculous. That's probably like a B, that's my guess. It's a high C. That's like as high as it goes. It doesn't really go much higher than that unless you're Bruno Mars. And there's only one Bruno Mars, I'll tell you that. But come on, what the heck?
Let's begin.
It's so cool. But let's talk a little bit about the beginning, about how I say you sound kind of like Mendes like.
What did he say?
Dream driving in the car, saw you
There's one big difference though. He's singing a very similar way to Shawn Mendes. Lots of twang, lots of this sound going on. Shawn Mendes does it a lot. Only difference is that Shawn Mendes sings a lot of sounding vowels. He has this like slam it on me, slam. His slam goes towards like an maybe it's the Canadian in him. I don't know. Harry Styles is singing more sounding vowels. That's really the biggest difference here. Harry Styles here is singing kind of like a touching yourself. It's going a little bit towards an O or a yaw kind of a thing. That's the biggest difference I hear in the lower range. Upper range is a different story though. But I've never heard him sing this way before. Is the whole point of that analogy or that comparison. It's really cool. Let's talk a little bit more about his upper range, but before we do that, I'm gonna read the comments. Harry couldn't have chosen a better song. The song complements his voice so well and he looks so effortless while performing. Love this. This is an interesting one to me because it's weird because I agree with the comment, but he's changing his voice a lot in this performance, to my knowledge, to get it to work with his voice. But he's changing his voice a lot in order to get this song to sound the way that it is, but it does complement what he is doing with his voice in this particular performance, for sure. Wish there was more of this kind of energy on the album. This is killer. Actually, the album was great, and this kind of a song would be a little bit out of place. I'm being an asshole disagreeing with the comments here today. I do like this a lot, and I wouldn't have minded if something like this was on the album. Harry needs this type of songs. His voice sounds so good in this style. I agree, but his voice sounds good in almost every single style. But I know what you mean. I want to hear more rock. In general, I want to hear more rock. One of his best covers, is it? I don't lie when I say that Harry has influenced my taste in music. He always covers songs that I've never listened to before and introduces me to new artists and sounds. You know what? I actually agree with that. But yeah, let's see what he's doing up in the chorus here. It's really cool.
I was in your wet dream, driving in the car. What makes you think you...
He has so much of this hold to his voice. Every time I hear it, it's getting more and more prevalent and pronounced. He did lose a lot of this I reacted recently to his iTunes One Night Only performances. Link to that if you're interested. But he wasn't doing this so much in those, to be honest with you. He had a little bit more of a clear sound, but it's interesting to know that he's able to go back and forth on it. But still, it's always so distinct when I hear it. I think it particularly happens in his voice when he gets loud in volume. I'm trying my best to find lyrics that are appropriate for me to sing and don't make me feel ridiculous.
Good enough to think about me when you're touching yours.
No, not that. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and go, I love the way he touching yourself and then repeat that over and over. I'm not going to do that for you guys. But what I will do is give you another tip on how to get this sort of a sound where it's like almost raspy, if that makes sense, but it's not. And my trick for that is going to be adding some rasp. So if you can do this in a healthy way, if you add a little bit of this, if you're able to do that in a healthy way, add some false fold distortion. If you just pull back on that a little bit, touching yourself. One tip I have to find that sound, by the way, is sing the song while you're clenching your teeth together. I know it sounds kind of weird, but let's take this phrase for example.
Never seen anything so obscene.
So you put your teeth together, and then you go, never seen. And you get sort of that sound. It's a little bit tight at first, but then the idea is going to be to let your mouth open up a little bit so that it's not so held, but still keeping the same sound quality. Never seen. And then actually eventually, if you practice that sound enough, it'll just be a default thing in your voice. You'll just kind of do it automatically. But that's one little tip. If you want some more tips like that, well, y'all got to check out my Patreon, my singing technique tier. Sorry. All my videos get copyright claimed, you guys. So I'd appreciate it so much if anyone actually wants to learn more about singing. If not though, I'm going to have plenty of content on this channel for you. But anyway, be sure you check me out Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. And until next time, Tristan's
And Tristan.
peace.